So we will continue our lesson today on the new chapter, which is chapter 7 about plants. So we only will cover the two subtopics, which are origin and evolutions of plants and also plant adaptation, including the land colonization. So let's look on the history of plant emergence. So before this, life is restricted in the sea because on land in which they are practically nothing to eat. So the invasion of land began with cyanobacteria from the bacteria kingdom, followed by green algae from the protist kingdom, and also the fungi from the fungi kingdom, in which these three types of kingdom grow symbiotically, and most of them can be found near the water edge. So their organic waste remain accumulated and create soil, causing mosses and other plants to become established in the newly formed soil and further enrich it. So today there is a rich of diversity of green plants making carbon compounds out of water and also carbon dioxide using the sunlight as an energy source. So bear in mind that all plants are multicellular photoautotrophs. So meaning to say that they're made up from um, many cells, and also they can make their own food by using energy source from the sunlight. And plants also do have chlorophyll A and B, and also accessory pigments such as yellow and orange carotenoid that you can find mostly in orange and also carrots. So they store carbohydrate as starch, and cellulose is the major components of the cell wall. When you compare with fungi, the major component of the cell wall in fungi is chitin, okay, different with the plant. So recent data reveal that land plant might descend from a group of green algae that called as a charophytes, as you can see in the figure here, or also known as stonewoods. Excuse me. They possess a polymer called a sporopollenin that prevent exposed zygote from drying out. So let's look on the second subtopic, which is adaptation of plant, in which we will look on the first one. We look on the apical meristem that refer to the shoot and also the root system. So for the root system that located underground, it allows the plant to colonize the land, in which the root system have many underground absorptive structure, resulting in a large surface area for absorptions of soil, water, and dissolved mineral iron. So in many root system, it also anchor the plant. Okay. For the next apical meristem, which is shoot system, one of the adaptations on land, in which the shoot system located above the ground, the involvement of shoot system where the stems and leaves will be adapted for exploiting sunlight and absorbing carbon dioxide from the air. So extensive growth of stem and also branches became possible due to the strengthening of the cell wall that afforded by deposited of lignin. So let's look on the lateral meristem adaptations on plants. Okay, lateral meristem is referred to the vascular tissue, which is the xylem and also the phloem. Okay, so xylem conduct water and dissolve ions or minerals, meanwhile phloem conduct products of photosynthesis, such as the dissolved sugar. Okay, and then how about the water absorption? Conservation through the stomata, right? So water conservation is crucial for life on land because they are very exposed to the sunlight, which is further from water source. So shoot will become protected by a cuticle. Cuticle is a layer or of a wax or a waxy coat that will help to conserve water on hot and also dry days. Other than that, the stomata, okay, on the leaves of the plant also will help to conserve water for the plant. So stomata is actually referred to a very tiny opening across the surfaces of the leaf and some stems that evolve. They will control um, the what we call that one, the movements into or out of the plants, the movement of the carbon dioxide absorptions, and also restrict the evaporative water loss. So in land colonization also, after this adaptation that refer to the apical meristem, lateral meristem. So once the plants grow on the land, they will adapt for land colonization. So they will produce a secondary compounds such as alkaloids, terpenes, tannins, phenolics, like flavonoids that will one of the antioxidant component that will defend against herbivore and also the parasite. They will also help the plant to absorb harmful UV radiation and act as a signals in symbiotic relationship with beneficial soil microbes. So other than that, they will evolve from haploid to diploid dominance. So you can find this in the reproduction letter, in which the shift to diploid dominance was an adaptation to land colonization. This is due to the fact that plant diploid phase are fully adapted to life in terrestrial habitat. The diploid phase or the sporophyte dominate most plants' life cycle. So let's look on the plants' generations of life cycle in the plant alternation. So the sporocyte, okay, which is a multicellular diploid, form from the zygote through the process of the mitosis, and then this sporocyte will undergo meiosis, producing haploid spore. This haploid spore later will again undergo the mitosis process to produce a gametophyte. This gametophyte will undergo mitosis again to produce male and female gamete, and this male and female gamete then will fertilize to produce a zygote. So let's look further on this generation's life cycle. So sporocyte, the multicellular diploid here that formed from the zygote, is a spore producing body that is multicell and also diploid. They will undergo meiosis to produce a haploid spore, and the spore are haploid resting cell, often whole, and they are good at resisting drought, cold, and other harsh conditions. So when favorable condition returns, the spore will germinate and they will develop into a haploid body called as a gametophyte. Here, gametophyte is a multicellular haploid in which the gametophyte is actually referred to the gamete producing body that is haploid. The gametophyte will undergo mitosis and they will produce male and female gametes. So these male and female gametes to fertilize and produce a zygote, as you can see over here. Okay, remember, zygote is a diploid cell that will undergo mitosis and then cell enlargement yielding a sporocyte, and this generalized cycle will continue. So the cycle will continue again and again. So how about the evolutions of pollens and also the seed in the plant? So in algae and simple vascular plants, the spore are all alike a condition which are called as a homosporous. So in gymnosperm and angiosperm lineage, the spore are differentiated into two types, which are known as heterosporous. So this characteristic is the forerunner for seed evolution. So let's look here for the male gametophyte, which are microspore, or normally we call it as a pollen grains, are released from parent plants to be carried to the female gametophyte via the air currents, birds, or even the insects. So they have a dispersal agent to carry the male gametophyte inside the pollen grain to the female gametophyte that located uh, on the other plant or the same plant. Okay, so the female gametophyte, which located inside the ovary, are megaspore that remain inside the plant, which is specifically on the ovary, and are surrounded by protective tissue, which give nutrition to the ovum. And upon fertilization, they will produce a seed. Okay, so I think that's all for today, class. So next week we're gonna learn on the plants group or the phyla under the kingdoms of the plants. Okay, class. Thank you. See you next week.